You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the past look down on us from those stars. So whenever you feel alone, just remember that those kings will always be there to guide you.
I don't think it is very useful to speculate on what God might or might not be able to do. Rather, we should examine what He actually does with the universe we live in.
We are all explorers, driven to know what's over the horizon. The most profound discoveries are not necessarily beyond that next star. They're within us, woven into the threads that bind us.
Hello, beautiful people. Happy Friday, happy Venus Day, and welcome to Aquarius season. We have so much to go over today, so much to talk about. I'm going to talk you through the entire weekend, the beginning of Aquarius season. The sun is officially in Aquarius at 0 degrees. And you know, 0 degrees, it's a critical degree. We're feeling really excited, really eager for the future right now. But we also have a new moon in Aquarius on Saturday that we'll talk about what it means for you, a little affirmation for each sign. And Uranus stations direct on Sunday, along with a Venus-Saturn conjunction and Mercury trine the North Node. I know, it's a lot. It was a mouthful. But if you're finding this video live, if you're joining me here, hello, welcome. I know we have Corby here, Nick is here, Rose, gang's all here, all excited for Aquarius season. Nikki from Canada, Rachel's with us. Rose says the baby is smiling and waving at you. Hi, baby. And if you're joining me live, or excuse me, if you're finding this video later, I'm going to go ahead and add markers to the timeline because, like I said, we have so much to talk about. So if you want an insight on the Lunar New Year, we're going to go over that, the year of the water rabbit. If you want more insight just on the new moon, you'll be able to find that in the description down below and in the markers. Whew, I am like buzzing with excitement, probably because the sun's at 0 degrees of Aquarius, but how are you all feeling? Because I'm just like, finally, retrograde season is coming to an end. The past couple days, I've been telling you all, just wait, be still. Now is the time where we can really start to think about moving forward. Rachel's feeling that loving energy. She's getting a trine to Venus with this new moon coming up tomorrow. One of our favorite Aquariuses is here, excited for her season, excited about what the new season is going to bring. Yeah, I'm really feeling that energy too. So let's start with a current check on what's going on right now. We, of course, have the sun now in Aquarius. The moon is still in Capricorn. So we're still in the dark moon phase. Things are really going to start to pick up the pace, I think, Saturday, Sunday following the new moon. But we still have a day of, you know, if you're not quite there yet, that's okay. Although, I don't know, I think we've all been through a lot. I think we're all just ready for this fresh energy and these fresh perspectives. Yeah, Katie's feeling pretty jazzed, optimistic, right there with you. Oh, Nick's cat came back home. Miracles happen every day. We love that. We love that. Happy Friday, Maribel. Okay, I want to get into it because, like I said, we have so much to talk about. So let's just start with the sun in Aquarius. It's Aquarius season. What does that mean? As I start to talk about this, I would love for you to all drop in the chat words or phrases or descriptions that resonate for you when you think about the Aquarius is in your life and the things that happen for you during Aquarius season. Aquarius is the sign of the water bearer. So a lot of people think that Aquarius is a water sign. It's actually not. Aquarius is an air sign and it's a fixed sign. What does that mean? Well, a fixed sign is really staying in its own lane and its own energy, regardless of the environment it's in. And of course, you know what I mean by an air sign. But Aquarius often confuses people because it's an air sign and it literally has the word aqua in it. I like to think of Aquarius as the cloud. Here's why. Because clouds are water bearers, right? They bear water. And Aquarius is very much associated with technology and electricity as well. So I think of like a thundercloud. It can also create electricity. And technologically, I think of the cloud as well. This place that we don't fully understand, right? Out there, it's kind of weird. We upload things to it. We download things from it. So some terms for me that come to mind when I think about Aquarius energy and the beautiful Aquarius people in my life are originality, eccentricity. Aquariuses are not afraid to march to the beat of their own drums. Even rebellion, innovation. Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, which is why I said this is like the most Aquarius weekend coming up. We've got the Aquarius new moon, the sun in Aquarius, and Uranus stationing direct. So we're really going to be feeling Uranus's influence this weekend. And Uranus is the planet of disruption and breakdowns, but also leads us to breakthroughs. So I love this contrast between rebellion and innovation. Oftentimes there has to be a breakdown. There has to be some sort of challenging of the norm, of convention, in order for us as a society or as individuals to innovate. Again, technology, science, the future, envisioning the possibilities, seeing new perspectives, being open to new information, all things that are associated with Aquarius. And in astrology, Aquarius rules the 11th house of community, reminding us of the importance of connecting with other people. That's another reason I associate Aquarius with the cloud, because it's kind of like looking up at the sky. We're all looking up at the same sky, even clouds. You can think of when you see like the weather, right? And the meteorologist is showing a map of how the atmosphere is moving, how the clouds are forming, bringing storms in and things like that. Just in California here in the past couple weeks, we had these major storm systems coming out of Asia to California. Why do I bring this up? Because the clouds, the atmosphere is connecting all of us and reminding us that we are all a global community, which is why Aquarius is associated with humanitarian causes, community, and really just zooming out. Like I think of Aquarians as these people that are just like up there floating on a cloud, being able to see a different perspective. It's like I was reading a few weeks ago about astronauts that were first seeing the world from space. And, you know, their first day going around the Earth, they were like, oh, there's my community, there's my town. And the second day, they're like, oh, there's my country. And by the third day, all of them from different countries, from different backgrounds and cultures were like, there is our world. There is humanity. So, you know, Aquarius reminds us that we're all connected, but at the same time that we all have a unique perspective and individuality to provide to the collective. Our uniqueness helps us stand out from the crowd, but also helps us, what's the word I'm looking for? Provide value to our community. What are you all saying about Aquariuses? Rachel says, not afraid to be different, very independent. Definitely very independent. Aquarius is associated with kind of being a little spacey, doing their own thing, right? But that can be beautiful. Yes, Nick says, I always think about that whole 1960s Age of Aquarius thing. Of course, we're going to be hearing the song Aquarius by Fifth Dimension like a ton today and probably over the next couple weeks. I'm so guilty of that on all my content. Like, we've got to do the Aquarius, you know, that whole thing. But think about that time, the 60s, people were doing a lot of drugs, expanding their minds, opening to free love. And there were, you know, the Vietnam protests, people really aligning with humanitarian causes and making a stand, sharing protesting, calling for change. Yeah, Katie, unapologetic weirdos. The alien is like my favorite emoji for Aquariuses. Like they are just kind of from a different planet, but they provide us so much perspective. It's coming back to that like viewing Earth from space perspective. Let's just do it differently. I love that mantra for Aquarius season. My husband is an Aquarius sun. He definitely likes feeling different. My best friend is an Aquarius too, and her name's Jenna. Jenna talks about how she hates conforming, you know, and if she's ever part of a community and she feels like she's being forced to conform or forced to do things a certain way, her inner Aquarius just like rebels. She's like, no, I got to break away. I got to do my own thing. Yeah. The joke about Aquarius is like, I'm different. Okay. I'm not the same as everybody else. Nikki has an Aquarius moon. She likes being different, not into the high-tech movement like Elon Musk. And it's really beautiful how Aquarius can show up differently in all of our charts. Remember, we all have Aquarius in our chart. So this is a great point to pull up your chart, see what house Aquarius rules for you. And as we talk about the new moon, especially because this new moon is at 1 degree of Aquarius tomorrow, the mantra I give you, the affirmation I give you, and the themes we talk about will really be prevalent throughout Aquarius season for you. Rose says her husband loves the water, always surfing, surfs differently, but surfs big waves. I love that. I love that. So that's a little taste of Aquarius season. As the month goes on, the next 4 weeks go on, I'm sure new insights, new perspectives will come through as they always do when we embark in a new season. Let's talk about Friday, what's going on with the moon today, so you can get some insight about maybe how to manage your emotions. Also, at the end of our show today, I'll do a quick run through of the major transits coming up this Aquarius season, but I want to start with the current energy. So we still have the dark moon in Capricorn, this last day before the new moon. And, you know, it's still this invitation to emotionally just surrender. And with Capricorn being also a very forward-thinking sign, I really feel like today's a day to sit and kind of ruminate, maybe even meditate on the intentions you want to set for tomorrow's new moon, which will be right before 1 p.m. Pacific time. So today's a great day to, just kind of be still and think about, what do I want my new moon ritual or intention to look like? Oftentimes around new moons and full moons, I say, you don't have to do a ritual if you feel like it or if you don't feel like it. And I stand by that. Especially during Aquarius season. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do. You don't have to conform to anyone else's rituals, anyone else's standards. But I will say this is going to be a very powerful new moon. Cultures all around the world are celebrating new beginnings. So today, under the dark moon, it's really a great day to think about, how do I want to start this new chapter? How can I set myself up for success? Envision what you want the year ahead to look like in this moment of stillness. We have a couple different transits playing out with the dark moon in Capricorn today. Overnight, 2 a.m. Pacific time, the moon connected with the north and south nodes. And again, this is very forward thinking, helping us emotionally in this place of stillness and surrender, align with the path ahead, let it unfold easily. It's really an invitation as the moon's at 15 degrees now, but you can see it was forming a trine to the north node over here, a sextile to the south node. And maybe even in your dreams, you realized some things you might want to release from the past so you can align with the path ahead. It's all about tapping in with our purpose this morning and visioning for the future, really playing into that whole reminder to set an intention. And Capricorn energy likes to be prepared. So prepare for the new moon today. Set yourself up to have a really powerful moment. Even if it's not a full ritual, just to take a moment to write down intentions for the year ahead or even just for the cycle ahead. Yes, I am right there with you, Rachel. Same for me. Aquarius is mostly in my 5th house, and I am feeling so creative, so inspired. I'm literally creating so much for transit tracking, our container that starts tomorrow, and really feeling that fresh energy, that joyful excitement. That's probably why I'm so buzzy now that the moon or that the sun is in Aquarius. Aquarius in the third for you, Nick. So really a great time to open to new information and new perspectives. Rose has Aquarius ruling her 9th house. Beautiful time for expansion, manifestation with Venus right there. Good questions to consider. What do I want to see in this new season? Yeah, the Capricorn moon wants us to be prepared. 4th and 5th house for Bree. So, a lot about home and family, and the end of Aquarius season will probably bring more creativity, more joy, more playfulness for you. You should come to Goddess Night Out. It's probably going to be when the full moon is, I guess it would be in your 10th house, but the sun will be in your 5th house, which is a great energy for dancing and playing. 4th house. All right. So it's very much a time for introspection, really tapping into what you know, what you want to learn, and what you think, what you really care about. 2nd house for you with Mercury and your sun. A great time to call in some new money and some new resources, Katie. Okay, so back to the moon. We're still in the dark moon phase. I know we're all like so excited for this new moon. This morning, the moon squared Chiron. And when the moon squares Chiron, it can kind of trigger some wounds. So it might have come up for you this morning already, maybe showing you what still needs to be released, what you're still clinging on to in this last day of the moon phase. There might just also be some restlessness with Chiron and Aries, like really just wanting to move forward and feeling like we're being held back in some way. So be patient today. It's really easy to be triggered and irritable, but we have some powerful transits playing out. Actually, right now, the moon, speaking of Uranus, is harmonizing with Uranus. So that dark blue line in the middle of the chart there, the moon forming this 120-degree angle to Uranus on one of the last days of its 5-month retrograde. This is really probably why, again, I'm feeling so buzzy and excited. Maybe you too. But we can align with the future. We can see the future more clearly now. We're open to insights. We're tapped into our intuition. We're still in the cocoon of the dark moon, but we're excited about the fresh energy to come. We're craving a thrill. We're craving doing it differently, maybe breaking away from convention or from our habits. It's very Friday energy too. Like, okay, let's just get the weekend started already. Let's get it going, right? So feeling excited, feeling maybe even inspired, some new ideas coming through today as the moon harmonizes with Uranus, coming back to visioning the future so you can start implementing it and really speaking those desires, speaking those intentions out to the universe tomorrow under the new moon. Rachel says it beautifully, feeling that duality. Like, I'm optimistic, but there's that voice, Saturn. Yeah, I feel that. It's still in my Saturn return. Hey, but those lessons, yes, yeah, I feel that too. And a great reminder that, yes, Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius, but in traditional astrology, aka before Uranus was discovered, Saturn was the ruler of Aquarius. And Aquariuses can definitely be skeptical. That's why many Aquariuses are really into conspiracy theories and questioning authority. So while Capricorn feels like it is the authority, it is the patriarchy, Aquarius, I like to say all the signs, all the houses, they always build on each other. So this season following Capricorn season is like questioning authority, questioning our responsibility, questioning the structures, maybe rebelling against them a little bit, almost rebelling against Saturn, right? Building new structures, innovating the structures. So that can be, I love that you expressed this, Rachel. That can be where that duality feels like it's coming in. Like, I'm excited, I want to innovate, but also I'm still questioning these lessons, these structures that are pretty solid in my life still in a lot of ways. Totally normal and a great insight. And then late tonight, midnight Pacific time, so overnight, the moon forms a sextile to Neptune in Pisces. When the moon hits 23 degrees, it'll be forming this nice 60-degree angle to Neptune. This should help us fall asleep pretty easily, drift off to dreamland. Keep your dream journal handy. When we have an overnight transit to Neptune, it's likely that we'll have vivid dreams. And I know a lot of you have been having vivid dreams lately. But on another hand, as the evening goes on, in this cocoon of the dark moon, in this place of waiting and surrender and stillness, we can find more compassion. We can find more empathy, thanks to Neptune's influence. You might want to watch a fantasy tonight, you know, a movie or a book, and like really tap into that emotional, heart-centered space before it's like, okay, let's go. Let's start making waves. Let's start moving towards our intentions. So your dreams could be vivid tonight, could maybe even bring through some new inspiration, but also this is full permission to just give yourself rest before the new moon. I know it's Aquarius season already, but you know, get a good night's sleep so you can really be fully present and excited for the new moon, the intentions. Maybe if you're joining me for transit tracking to start our month-long cycle together tomorrow, just, I would say, get some good sleep tonight. That's our Friday forecast. Now let's move into Saturday and the new moon in Aquarius. Now, as we talk about the new moon in Aquarius, it's going to feel very similar to like, hey, it's Aquarius season. We have the new moon at 1 degree of Aquarius. The 1 degree is also a potent energy of starting something new. 1 in numerology is beginnings, starts, rebirth, right? And all over the world, the new moon in Aquarius marks the Lunar New Year. So for the next week or 2 weeks, I believe, there is a 16-day celebration, billions of people around the world celebrating the Lunar New Year. So let's talk about the new moon in Aquarius. Then we'll touch a little bit on Chinese astrology and the year of the water rabbit. I'm not an expert on Chinese astrology, but I always love to include a little cultural tidbit when there's something like this that, again, billions of people around the world are honoring and celebrating. And I'll also point you to another resource, people a little more knowledgeable about me when it comes to the Lunar New Year. Okay, so this new moon in Aquarius, a beautiful opportunity to envision the future, while the new moon, marking a new beginning, is in this forward-thinking, innovative sign of Aquarius. As the moon and sun meet up at 1 degree, it's like a breath of fresh air, especially with a new moon in an air sign. Remember what I said about Aquarius being the cloud? This is kind of an opportunity to envision yourself floating above your life on a cloud, zooming out, seeing the cycle ahead from a distance, giving yourself the space to be like, okay, what is the year ahead going to look like for me? If I could zoom out and see the timeline, how would I want that to play out? Really visioning, even like actually envisioning what is my year going to look like. Picturing yourself moving through the year ahead can be really powerful, seeing all the potential possibilities. Now, that's not to say you know exactly how it's going to go. We never know exactly how it's going to go, right? But there is something very potent about being like, oh, I can see myself starting that business. I can see myself, you know, getting engaged, or I could see myself getting married. I know some of you are getting married this year. I can see myself getting a promotion at work. I can see myself buying a new home, moving, whatever is calling to you. And again, looking at where Aquarius falls in your birth chart could give you a little insight or some intel into what area of your life you can start in or focus on first. But just really envisioning the timeline ahead and seeing the highest possible outcome for yourself is such a cool practice to do under the Aquarius new moon. Remember, Aquarius connects us with community as well. So who do you want to be around in the cycle ahead? Who do you want to connect with? How can you share your gifts? How can you use technology, social media to connect with other people as well? If that feels good for you, of course. Reflecting on the causes that are important to you, how you, yes, you, even though you're just a single human being among millions and billions of people, how you can impact the world around you. I'm reminded of this theory that was just proven scientifically, of course. Got to go back to science because Aquarius is all about the science, the proof, right? About how our voice, me speaking right now, affects the vibration of particles at the farthest edge, if there even is such a thing, of the universe. How me speaking to you is impacting every freaking human or being or plant or molecule, not only on this earth, but in the entire universe. So really reminding us of, yeah, it's easy on new moons to be like, what do I want? What do I want my life to look like? But take it a step further if you can and ask, how can my vision impact the people around me in a positive way? How can I benefit my community as I'm visioning the future for myself? How can I contribute to the collective? Also, an opportunity to think outside the box. Remember, Aquarius is the rebel, wants to do it differently. How can you do things differently this year? How can you try something new? What new things do you want to try? And also encourages us not to be afraid to ruffle a few feathers in the process. A lot of times, I don't know about you, I am a recovering people pleaser. I get stuck in, well, what would they think if I do something weird like that? Who cares what they think? It's okay if you make people uncomfortable. It's okay if your light illuminates other people's shadows. And it's okay to march to the beat of your own drum. You're not here to be the same as everybody else. A beautiful reminder during Aquarius season, inviting us to tap into our authenticity, our individuality, as Rachel brought up a few minutes ago, and really express that most authentic version of ourselves. So as you vision the year ahead, set intentions. How can you be authentic? How can you contribute to your community? And how can you do it differently this year? Yeah, the Lunar Chinese New Year is huge in Hawaii. I would love, Rose, if you feel called, no pressure, to share what you do for the Lunar New Year. And tomorrow during our call, if you're able to join us, I would love to allow you to share some insights about how Hawaiian culture celebrates. I always love learning about how other cultures celebrate holidays, celebrate big moments like this. I think there's so much to be gained and learned from different perspectives, and it's a very Aquarian theme. Calling in our home. I remember you saying that. Calling in your home. We're seeing it for you, envisioning you in the perfect home for you and your beautiful family. Katie says, I can feel myself enveloped with joy in being in and with my family. My family can release generational curses. Absolutely. Seeing the highest possible vision for the family you are creating, Katie. The butterfly effect. Exactly. With your words. Your words are very nicely a bit of toxic optimism, My toxic optimism probably is going to trigger a lot of people, but that's just my authentic self at this point. That's me. That's the Aquarius part of my chart, the 5th house energy of joy and just like playing and having fun, right? Really leaning into that for myself this Aquarius season. So let's talk about really quickly the Lunar New Year, because the Chinese zodiac begins a new year tomorrow, and it will be the year of the water rabbit. We're coming out of the year of the water tiger, which was actually ruled by Uranus, having very Aquarius themes. The rabbit is ruled by Neptune, so we're moving into more of a Pisces vibe during the year of the water rabbit. There will be cultures all around the world celebrating for the next 16 days. And remember, the Chinese zodiac is based on Jupiter's cycles. So Jupiter takes 12 years to make a lap around the sun. There are 12 different Chinese zodiac signs represented by different animals. The last couple times we had rabbit years were in 2011. So maybe thinking about what happened for you in 2011. Also, 1999 was a year of the rabbit, and 1987. Those are the last couple I can think of personally. So if you were born in any of those years, you are a rabbit in Chinese astrology, and this is your year. Let's talk about the energy of the water rabbit. There are also Chinese elements. There are 5 Chinese elements, and we came out of a water year. We're still in a water year moving forward. I won't get into the details of the elements of Chinese astrology, but you can head to thespiritualjournalist.com tomorrow and see the new moon forecast. And I link over to a full article about the year of the water rabbit from my personal favorite astrologers, the Astro Twins. I've learned so much from these women, and they're just so tapped in. They've been an authority in the astrology space for a really long time. And so I love checking in with their insights before I share with you all, especially when it comes to these topics that I'm not as well versed in. Okay, so the year of the water tiger last year, ruled by Uranus, brought a lot of disruptions, might have been a little aggressive, surprises coming up during the year of the water tiger, a lot of innovation. But it's interesting that we're moving from the tiger to the rabbit, because it's almost like we're moving from predator to prey. Yes, the rabbit is known for softness, being cuddly, fertility as well. Many cultures see the rabbit as being associated with fertility. So we can expect more of that sweet Pisces, watery, compassionate, empathetic, fertile energy, right? Now, there is a caveat here. They call it a rabbit hole for a reason. We don't want to fall too far down the rabbit hole. It's really easy to get lost in a fantasy during a year of the rabbit. So something to keep in mind. It's also easy to kind of get trapped in a victim mentality. Addiction can come up. These are all shadow energies associated with Pisces. So something to keep in mind. We still want to keep one foot rooted in reality, but in general, we're stepping into softness. It's funny because I've been seeing a lot about trust and softness. Trust is my word for 2023 before I even knew that this was a year of the rabbit, which, rabbit, Neptune, very much about trust and belief and allowing our minds to wander, allowing ourselves to envision and believe in things we don't fully understand, right? So you can learn more about this again by heading to thespiritualjournalist.com. That article will go live tonight, or that post. And I wish you all a beautiful year of the water rabbit ahead. The malls and stores put together events in Hawaii like the Chinese lion dance. Many of us have probably seen that cultural, I don't want to call it a parade, but ritual. There we go. A ritual that plays out around the Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year. Lots of fireworks, lots of Chinese New Year food, and lots of money going around. Yeah, money is really big in that culture around this time of year, right? There's like money rituals. So, hey, we can use that to our advantage if you're calling in more money in 2023. Thanks, Nick. I have my Jupiter return, and I was born in the year of the rabbit. Exactly. It all ties together, right? We have our Jupiter returns in the years we were born. And my partner was born in 87. He's having his Jupiter return as well this year in the year of the rabbit, which, he is a rabbit. So really cool. And for me, it's really validating to see, like, yes, I predominantly follow Western astrology, tropical astrology, but the Chinese zodiac has a lot of the same principles as Western astrology. And there's a lot of overlap, which to me is like these cultures didn't have technology back then, and they were all following the same energies and explaining them in different ways. In Chinese zodiac, it's through animals, also through elements, versus, these mythologies that more Western astrology created. The Chinese saying for Happy New Year is literally, I hope you get rich. So everyone wishes each other to get rich. I love that. And I love how, from my understanding, you can correct me if I'm wrong, abundance in the Chinese culture isn't always just about money. You know, food is associated with many holidays that are celebrated in that culture. And so reminding ourselves that getting rich isn't always just about physical money. It can be about an abundance of food, an abundance of resources, health, wellness, right? Wow. 2011 was a powerful year for me. I moved here and my life literally took off. Amazing. I love that. Last week I looked at mine and I was born in the year of the monkey. It definitely resonated with me. I'm curious to see how this year plays out according to my research. Always fun to get to tap into different systems and see how they resonate with us, right? Okay, so let's talk about the different aspects this new moon will make. The moon will stay in Capricorn until about 10:30 in the morning Pacific time on Saturday. So I will say the dark moon in Capricorn makes one final connection at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and that's a conjunction to Pluto. I don't want to overlook this because this really does feel like a moment of rebirth, right? Right before the new moon, the Capricorn moon is going to meet up with Pluto, and it's like, okay, that chapter is over. A new chapter is beginning. Could bring up some deep emotions. Often new beginnings do. You can kind of think of it like New Year energy, graduation energy when someone is born. Oftentimes deep emotions come up, not necessarily sadness, but just intensity. It's really beautiful to start a new chapter. So if you're feeling like the tears welling up, I don't know, the moon will be in Capricorn, so we're not the most emotional, but if you're feeling that, it's okay to let it be released and to feel all the feels and to honor the ending of one chapter so you can begin another. If there's any lingering energy that you feel yourself holding on to, this final connection between the moon and Pluto, this conjunction, is an opportunity to just let it go. Let it go so you're not bringing it with you into the Lunar New Year, into Aquarius season, into this new cycle. This is the time to transform, and the conjunction to Pluto reminds us of that. But then the moon moves into Aquarius just before 10:30 a.m. and becomes new officially at 1 degree of Aquarius at 12:53 p.m. Pacific time. So right before 1 p.m. Literally, I did not plan this. The universe just worked out this way. Moments before our first call for transit tracking, we mark the new moon. Like, how perfect is that? That just makes me so happy when that works out. I sent a message to our group chat. We're starting for the program too, and I happened to send it at 4:44 yesterday. Had no idea that was going to happen, and then I sent it and I was like, oh my gosh, divine timing. We love when that happens, right? Ooh, Corby says, I saw really large crows today in my backyard, which symbolizes death and transformation, change, new beginnings to come. Crows are really smart too. I've read that they have the mental state of like a 2-year-old, like the same as a dog, which is so cool. Lots of wisdom coming to you. So in alignment. Yeah. No, I sent out a survey and I was thinking about doing it on Friday, but then Saturday just felt better for everybody. And the time happened to be right after the new moon. I didn't plan the 4:44 text either. So just, you know, I will say leading a course is a new edge for me. I've never specifically, I do this every day basically, but I've never specifically taught astrology to other people. And I'm really excited to do so. And just so much confirmation from the universe that this is what I'm supposed to be creating and doing right now. And everybody who is here is supposed to be here. Yeah. I know. Brie immediately was like 4:44. I'm like, she knew, she saw it. Yeah, it's going to be so fun. I can't wait to chat with you all tomorrow. So we already got into the new moon, but let's talk about the different aspects the new moon will be making. Actually, right after the moon becomes new, we have a powerful transit, an opportunity to check in with ourselves. So let me jump ahead here and I will show you what this looks like. Okay, so you'll see we have what else is at 1 degree right across from the new moon? Lilith in Leo. We talked a little bit about Lilith in Leo. Actually, I don't know if we did much about it, but Lilith in Leo is really helping us be more bold, tap into that solar plexus energy that's like, I know my worth, I know my power, I can show up. I have no problem being like, this is who I am and this is what I want. And I freaking love that this new moon in Aquarius inviting us to find our authenticity, to express our uniqueness, is opposing Lilith in Leo. There's great power in this opposition to Lilith because there's so much new perspective and excitement around this new moon. I really don't see this opposition as bringing a lot of negative energy, although, you know, Lilith can make us a little hostile. So notice if you go into like, oh my gosh, you know, if you're someone who's uncomfortable with change, a lot of us are. Notice if you go into trying to control or manipulate or like, I don't want to change, like that could come up around the new moon, but lean into Lilith's empowerment instead and ask, how can I show up more authentically? How can I be more bold? How can I be more myself? How can I shine my light even brighter? Even if I know, again, that might trigger some people and ruffle some feathers. Yes, standing your ground energy, giving us that bold courageousness of, again, I know my worth. I know what I want. It's like perfect for setting intentions too, right? Like being able to attract that Lilith energy and being like, it's kind of rebellious too. Like no one can stop me from creating the life I want to create. Anybody standing in my way is going to F off. You know, that's kind of Lilith. But that's okay. It's a powerful energy for a new moon, right? Just try not to project that onto other people. I could see a few of us, myself included, being like, this is my year ahead. And maybe not being as considerate of other people as we might want to be. So just notice if you're being a little intense. Find a little softness in the intention setting process, but there is great empowerment that comes with this new moon. And then on Saturday night, the moon is making some more connections. So we have a sextile to Jupiter at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time. If you're doing any new moon rituals as the sun goes down and the moon is up in the sky, although it'll be hard to see because it's a new moon, you know, you might have some good fortune that comes along with this sextile to Jupiter. Jupiter now at 4 degrees of Aries, forming a 60-degree angle to the new moon. And that can just help us lean into that optimism, that excitement that we're already feeling around this new moon. You might get a surge of energy or like a burst of insight or creativity that wants to come through. Like, yes, we're going to do all the things. We're going to charge forward under this new moon, really amplifying our manifestations. Remember, Jupiter expands and amplifies everything it connects with, everything it touches, and giving us an innate ability to have faith in what we are wanting to create, what we are intending for the year ahead. Just really optimistic, good vibes on Saturday night. And then we have a trine to Mars following that at 11 p.m. Pacific time. So overnight trine to Mars. Don't be surprised if you're up late, burning the midnight oil on Saturday night. Having lots of energy is certainly possible. So there's a lot going on this chart right now, but you can see the moon, trine Mars. Oh, over here, trine Mars. This moves very quickly. So during the trine, this is called the point of fortune. And again, Saturday night could be a very fortunate night to even take one small step. You might be feeling restless, like you want to do something with your intentions. So pouring that energy into a ritual, you know, moving your body a little bit, dancing around, being in that energy of moving forward and joy and excitement, and lots of ideas could come through with Mars and Gemini, keeping a journal handy, doing something differently to manifest. Maybe you're doing a money dance, right? Looking up, I would butcher it if I said the Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year thing. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to butcher it, but I remember learning about it in school and we said it. So maybe you're feeling curious about other cultures, curious about new perspectives, and you're all on YouTube probably anyway. YouTube, like, Chinese New Year dance, do it along with your TV. I don't know. Maybe you feel called to that. Maybe you just want to dance around to some of your favorite music and call in abundance in a new way. But moving our body when the moon harmonizes with Mars feels really natural, feels really easy. and can literally boost our energy, get the blood flowing, get the juices moving, right? To amplify our manifestations and really infuse that positive energy, those good vibes into whatever we're calling in. So Saturday night feels like after the new moon, we just get this surge of fresh energy and optimism and good fortune. And yes, please, we are here for it. So I'm not going to go into a full forecast of what this new moon is going to bring for each sign. If you're part of transit tracking, that'll be part of our first call tomorrow as we celebrate the new moon, really talking about how it's going to show up in each of your lives, since we'll be able to do a little bit of a deeper dive with each of you. But I do want to share one affirmation for each sign. Remember to use your rising sign if you know it. If you don't, head to thespiritualjournalist.com/birth chart, scan the QR code in the corner, and look for the ASC or ascendant. Ascendant is the same thing as your rising sign, and that just shows us how your whole chart is laid out. Again, if this is all mumbo jumbo to you, join us for transit tracking. There's still time. We start on Saturday, or just listen for your sun sign. If it resonates, take it. If it doesn't, leave it. I will also say, because this new moon is at 1 degree, listen up for the sign that follows your rising sign as well, because that is going to probably be more of an indicator of how your Aquarius season is going to start and what area of your life this new moon is really going to affect. I know it seems like a lot. We're going to get into it in the course starting tomorrow if you're confused, but a lot of you know what I'm talking about. So we'll start with Aquarians. Aquarius risings, this is your season to evolve. This is your season to step into who you're meant to become. The new moon is going to move into your first house, and what a great energy. What a great energy to be in. So your affirmation for the new moon is, I am evolving. I am becoming. Really sinking into who you want to become in this next cycle, in this next year. Capricorn risings. Your affirmation is, I know what I want in my future. This new moon is potentially in your first house, but it will be moving into your second house, and Aquarius season will really activate your second house values, of finances, of resources. Knowing what you want can help you call it in more easily. I know what I want in my future, if you are a Capricorn rising. Sagittarius risings. Your affirmation for this new moon is, I am open to new perspectives. Aquarius rules your third house, and that's the house of thinking, learning, communication. So opening to new perspectives. And if you're a Sagittarius rising, you are already pretty open-minded, I would guess, but can you challenge yourself to be even more open-minded? Can you challenge yourself to learn something new in this season? I am open to new perspectives. Scorpio risings, your affirmation for Aquarius season and for this Aquarius new moon is, it is safe for me to step out of my comfort zone. If you're a Scorpio rising, Aquarius rules your fourth house of home and family, and really what you care about based on the family you were born into and what you care about based on the family and the foundation you're creating for yourself. So that can keep us in our comfort zone, but Aquarius energy is like, it's time to do it differently. So if you are a Scorpio rising, it is safe for me to step out of my comfort zone. Under this new moon in Aquarius, it is safe for me to step out of my comfort zone. Libra risings. It's fun to be a little weird sometimes. That is your affirmation. Full permission to be weird this Aquarius season if you are a Libra rising, because Aquarius rules your fifth house of the inner child, of play, of romance, of fun. So yeah, if you're a Libra rising, you like to probably be pretty and have things be nice and harmonious, but it's okay to ruffle feathers. It is safe and fun to be a little weird sometimes. Let that freak flag fly, Libra risings. Virgo risings. Your affirmation for the new moon and for Aquarius season is, I welcome shifts in my habits. This is a time to really upgrade and innovate your daily routine, your health habits. and welcome those shifts, welcome those changes. Aquarius season is going to activate your 6th house, which rules health, wellness, routines, organization, even pets. So if you're wanting to get a new pet and you're a Virgo rising, this is your time to do it. But welcoming shifts in habits during Aquarius season and using this new moon to envision how you want your routines, how you want your habits to change. Leo risings, your affirmation for the new moon and for Aquarius season is, I find love in unusual places. I find love in unusual places. Aquarius season activates your 7th house, which is the house of relationships, one-on-one partnerships, either marriage, like romantic relationships, or just partnerships in business, contracts, things like that. So finding love in unusual places, finding connection and partnership in unusual places, being willing to use your magnetic Leo energy to reach out to someone you might not normally reach out to, because there could be good fortune and a lot of opportunity to be found in a connection with someone you might not normally be drawn to. Cancer risings, your affirmation for Aquarius season and this new moon is, I see what has been hidden. I see what has been hidden. This new moon is going to activate your 8th house of shadows, of mystery, of debts, of what lies beneath, of other people's money as well. So maybe there is an inheritance coming your way if you're a Cancer rising, or maybe this is the season where you really want to get like your debt in order or deal with some deeper, darker stuff that you've kind of been avoiding. So being willing to use the new perspectives of Aquarius season to see what has been hidden. But because by facing our own shadows, there's a lot of empowerment there to move forward and to innovate. I see what has been hidden. Gemini risings, this is a time of expansion for you. The new moon lighting up your 9th house, Aquarius season ruling your 9th house. I welcome unlimited expansion. I welcome unlimited expansion. Being open to new perspectives comes very naturally for you if you're a Gemini rising. And so just welcome expansion, welcome growth in whatever ways it's coming. Maybe book a trip. You know, as you're visioning the year ahead, as we talked about under this new moon, where do you want to travel? What do you want to learn? How do you want to grow in this coming cycle? I welcome unlimited expansion. Taurus risings, your affirmation for the new moon, I am ready to be seen and celebrated. I am ready to be seen and celebrated. This new moon is in your 10th house of career, of long-term goals, of achievement, and Aquarius season is a time where we embrace what makes us different. We embrace standing out from the crowd. I'm ready to be seen and celebrated. By envisioning the year ahead and being like, what do I want to achieve and how do I want to be celebrated authentically? That can help you align with higher success. So I am ready to be seen and celebrated is your affirmation. Aries risings, this new moon is going to come into your 11th house of community, and Aquarius season is a really great time for you to find community. If you're an Aries rising, you're probably pretty independent. You are probably pretty headstrong. This is your reminder, I don't have to do it alone. That's your affirmation if you are an Aries rising. I don't have to do it alone. Find your people, find your community, ask for support, and remember there's power in numbers. There's power in community, and connecting with other people can actually help you move towards the things you are setting intentions about under this new moon. And last but lost, that seems very Pisces actually. Pisces risings, last but not least, your affirmation is I am ready to heal. Aquarius energy is what rules your 12th house. This new moon will move into your 12th house. There's a new chapter of healing for you. It can feel more like an ending than a beginning, but remember, endings and beginnings are often the same thing. So how do you want to heal? What do you want to let go of in this new year? That can make space for a lot of beautiful energy to enter when your season comes next in Pisces season. So your affirmation, Pisces risings, I am ready to heal. Love this for my Aquarius sun. Katie says, just have to share. I'm staring at a deer laying in my backyard. Deers are like my spirit animals. I'm so glad you shared that. I love deer. Yes, Bree, we are here for it. Get to see my niece and nephews this weekend. Rachel says, I'm so excited to just let my inner child out with them. Yeah, having fun, doing some crafts with them, arts. Yeah, totally perfect for fifth house energy for you, Rachel. So those are little affirmations for each sign, maybe giving you some insight on where this new moon falls in your chart and where Aquarius season will activate your chart. But that's not all. I told you we have a lot to talk about today. Let's chat about Sunday. We have 3 major transits playing out on Sunday. The excitement is just beginning, you guys. First and foremost, Mercury is going to harmonize with the North Node. Mercury station direct, and this trine to the North Node is really propelling Mercury back into its forward motion. I know Mercury retrograde ended on the 18th a few days ago, but Mercury's still been kind of ruminating at that 8-degree mark, getting ready to move forward again. This trine to the North Node is like green light. Let's move forward. Let's align with the path ahead. Let's naturally flow with our purpose just by thinking about the future. Honestly, Mercury in Capricorn is very forward thinking, preparing ourselves for success. So thinking about the future will come very naturally this weekend, especially on Sunday. It just feels like forward movement is huge starting Sunday. And thinking about the future, like I said, will be very easy as Mercury harmonizes with the North Node. Love this for us. I honestly love this for us. So actually, let me pull up the chart. We're going to jump ahead one more day here because we've got a few things playing out all at the same time. That happens on Sunday morning to be exact, but actually Mercury during its station has been in a trine to the North Node this whole time. So, you know, this Mercury retrograde station, the past couple of days, we've been thinking a lot about the future. That's been a theme we've been talking quite a bit about. Now, what's also happening, as you can see on Sunday, is Venus is conjunct Saturn. Woo! Venus conjunct Saturn. This happens about once a year, and Venus conjunct Saturn can show up in a few different ways, okay? So Venus, the planet of love, money, and beauty, Saturn, the planet of lessons and restrictions. We can expect to be thinking more practically about love, money, and beauty on Sunday. Maybe as we're visioning the path ahead, we're thinking a lot about our relationships. We're thinking logically about like, how can we really make this happen? How can we really manifest the things that we're calling in right now? We're very aware of the passage of time when Venus forms a conjunction to Saturn. So you might be thinking about like, okay, the timeline ahead as we set these intentions under the new moon, as Olivia reminded us to envision the year ahead. I would warn you not to be too rigid with Saturn's influence about like, okay, this needs to happen by this date. Saturn can kind of make us feel that pressure, right? But there's also a really potent opportunity to reflect on the lessons we've learned in love, money, and beauty as we envision the future. We might be more distant or cold, not quite as affectionate with Venus conjunct Saturn. So again, more focused on like the practical of what we want rather than being in the feeling of what we're calling in. Something to keep in mind. Might be taking a serious look at our bank account as well, with Venus being the ruler of money and Saturn being there, putting some boundaries in place with our spending that could come up for you during this Venus-Saturn conjunction, or even just making a plan for money for the year ahead. That's a really powerful way to use this transit to your benefit. And we've talked about love and Saturn's influence in that sense. We've talked about money, but how will this Venus-Saturn conjunction affect our relationship with beauty? We might be really concerned with aging. Saturn being the passage of time, Venus being beauty. We might be thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm this old. This is what I wanted to accomplish by now. Or this is, I'm turning this old this year, and this is what where I want to be in my life by this age. So Saturn can feel very restrictive, like this pressure to accomplish or to achieve. Remember, we have plenty of time. That's a great mantra to come back to if you're feeling that pressure on Sunday. There's plenty of time to call in the things we're calling in, to achieve the things we want to achieve. Don't be surprised if you're reminded of some lessons you've already learned in relationships, some lessons you've already learned about money or beauty. Lessons want to be learned and received under this Venus-Saturn conjunction. The last time we had this was in January of 2022. So actually the past couple Januaries, we've had Venus-Saturn conjunctions. Last January in 2022, because Venus had a big retrograde in Capricorn, we actually saw this conjunction 3 times. So it was in Aquarius actually. So scratch that. But we did see the conjunction 3 times in 2022. Lessons want to be received. So be open to the lessons, use that open mind, new perspectives of Aquarius energy, and try not to be too rigid or too hard on yourself. Great question, Katie. The opposition to Aquarius is Leo. Yeah. So Aquarius is the community. Leo is the self. Leo is very like magnetic and wants to pull things in. Aquarius is kind of like, give me my space. Let me float off on my cloud. Hi, Elena. Okay, so that is the second transit we feel on Sunday. We also have a really powerful transit of Uranus stationing direct on Sunday. This happens just before 3 p.m. Pacific time. The ruler of Aquarius stationing direct just in time for Aquarius season. And this is really freaking exciting because once Uranus stations direct, we will have all planets in forward motion until the middle of April. So you know what? I'm actually going to jump ahead on the chart here because I just want to show you. Like, can we just take this in and appreciate all these planets moving direct? Forward movement can really get going. It's like Uranus was the last stronghold of retrograde season. And once he starts moving forward, we can all start moving forward too. Uranus being the planet of disruption, rebellion, innovation, really going to get us leaning into that Aquarius energy. Forward progress comes more easily now. Innovative advancements, technological updates will likely come through. Science breakthroughs are possible in the coming months as Uranus moves forward. But also remember, with progress comes rebellion. So there could be some disruptions, some challenges to convention as Uranus stations direct in Aquarius. This planet wants us to break free from old beliefs, old patterns, and use our intuition to find a path forward. So with Uranus moving forward, yes, there will be a shadow period, but when a planet that moves as slowly as Uranus, that has an annual retrograde like this stations, we really feel its station. So we're really going to feel this urge Sunday evening to innovate, to move forward, to think about the future. I mean, I feel like all the transits are just saying the same thing, like think about the future. But Uranus is really going to be loud on Sunday. We also have a couple of connections with the Aquarius moon on Sunday that we'll talk about too. Marissa says she is an Aquarius and her daughter is a Leo. I love that. Opposites attract, and I love that duality of she probably has a lot of qualities that you lack and vice versa, but there's a beautiful completion that comes with opposite signs when they come together. Yes. All these planets being direct. Retrograde season, especially with Mars retrograde starting at the end of October, that was a really intense period for a lot of us. It's almost over. It's almost over. As of Sunday, all planets move forward. Full permission to start the thing you've been dreaming about, to take action, especially as we come into the first quarter moon, which will be in Taurus. We'll be able to really take some grounded action starting next week to push forward. Really excited about what's to come in this cycle. Okay, let's check in with what's going on with the Aquarius moon on Sunday. Still feeling those new moon vibes on Sunday. Yeah, I enjoyed all my naps during retrogrades. RIP to nap time. The moon, still a dark moon today, so you might want to get in one last nap, get some good rest as the moon forms a sextile to Neptune tonight, because once the wheels get turning, it's going to be hard to slow down. Let me catch up before we run. Exactly. What a weekend to focus on the future and make big plans. And we've got time and the push with these planets being direct. Something I've been reminding myself of with all of this excitement, even today with the sun at 0 degrees, this eagerness that we're feeling. We have time. We have a whole year. We have a whole cycle. We have plenty of time for the intentions we set to manifest. So again, on Sunday, with that Saturn-Venus conjunction, it can feel like time is kind of crushing us a little bit or feeling that pressure of time. It's okay. We have time. We have time. Okay, on Sunday, the Aquarius moon at 5 p.m. Pacific time. So the moon stays mostly quiet throughout the day on Sunday. 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern time, the moon is going to square the north and south nodes. The moon's still in Aquarius, and anytime we have a square to the north and south nodes, I see this as a fated turning point, the nodes of fate, with the moon being in a T-square to both of them. The moon is this focal point of the T-square, really marking this emotional turning point. Maybe some limiting beliefs, some restrictive energy with that Venus-Saturn conjunction playing out at 2 p.m. on Sunday. Maybe that could have brought up like, do I have time? But following that, it's like, okay, we can release the past. We can release these limiting beliefs, the South Node in Scorpio, and move toward more grounded, forward, secure, comforting energy when the moon squares the north and south nodes. Being willing to be open to new perspectives allows us to release the past and propel ourselves into the future. So there could be this like emotional turning point that comes after you move through all the intention setting and the, oh my gosh, what if, and do I have enough time, and all these things. We have a turning point on Sunday night. And the final transit we will talk about for the weekend, I know it's been a lot, is a square between the moon and our friend Uranus. This actually happens before Uranus stations direct, I believe. Actually, let me like triple check that for you right now because I'm realizing the times might have been a little bit off. Yes. Okay, hold on. We're going to jump back here. Got to be accurate. I am a Virgo, so, want to make sure I'm giving you the right information. The moon will square Uranus. Okay, so actually the turning point will come at 5 a.m., not p.m. That's where I was off. At 9 a.m., the last connection Uranus makes before it stations direct is a square to the moon. So we are very freaking aware of Uranus on Sunday. It's like, hello, notice me. Notice the changes that are happening. Notice the disruptions. Notice the innovation playing out right now. Here we go. There's that square that I'm talking about. So we're really feeling the disruption, and that can be a really positive thing. That can bring a lot of excitement. That can be really thrilling, but it can also be a little bit like tipping us on our axis kind of feeling. So there will be this like emotional turning point, but it could also be a little bit uncomfortable as the moon squares Uranus. Anytime the moon squares Uranus, watch out for outbursts or creating your own drama, creating your own thrill. It's like Uranus wants to go out with a bang, and surprises are definitely possible. Expect the unexpected, be open to changes on Sunday, and just know that the forward movement is coming, but maybe the universe wants to throw a wrench in things to propel you in a different direction than you thought you wanted to go. Just be open to it. Trust that it's all working out. Yeah. From a fellow Aquarius, time isn't real. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Oh, I love my best friends through all the phases. I love that. I've been shifting the way I think about time from the 3D perspective. Such powerful joy coming to me with this shift. Yeah. No, like another scientific article I just saw was like, time might not actually be real. So Aquarius season is a great time to ponder that. Is time real? Saturn makes us want to think it's real, but it's all working out. And yeah, Uranus can be such an ass sometimes. Totally. And Sunday, Uranus might be a little bit of an ass, but time isn't real. Trust that any obstacles are pushing you in a different direction, a direction that you're supposed to be going. Trust in the obstacles, trust in the disruptions, trust in the surprises. They're here to show you something, even if you can't figure it out right now. Okay, one more thing I want to touch on before we pull a card and wrap this up. We already talked about 2 of the major transits coming up this Aquarius season, but you know, I like you all to be prepared. We've got the new moon on Saturday. We've got Uranus stationing direct on Sunday. 2 more transits I'm going to touch on very quickly. On January 26th, next week, Venus enters Pisces. We love Venus in Pisces. We love this transit. Feels very year of the water rabbit, if you will. Sweet, sensitive. Venus is at home in the sign of Pisces, the traditional ruler of Pisces before Neptune was discovered. So it's really allowing us to dive into that fantasy, that whimsy, that romance over the 3 weeks that Venus is moving through the sign of the fish. It's really flowing with love, letting money flow to us, not grasping on to anything too tightly. I love that Venus moves into Pisces after this conjunction with Saturn. It's like really forcing us to open to new perspectives, and then the flow can just come naturally with Venus moving through Pisces. Pisces is all about one love, oneness, universal consciousness too. So you might find yourself attracted to more spiritual pursuits, to more spiritual understanding of love as well during this time. Venus in Pisces is that opportunity to heal by understanding that we're all one, that I am you and you are me, and boundaries. What are boundaries, right? That's very Pisces. So forgiveness, compassion comes very easily. Now, it's also a little too easy to get lost in a fantasy. Boundaries can get a little too blurry. So again, there's that term, the rabbit hole. Beware of falling down the rabbit hole. Magic is still there, but we want to make sure that it's rooted in reality a little bit. When you take off the rose-colored glasses, you're still feeling the romance. You're still feeling the love that you were feeling in the height of the fantasy, right? So it's easy to be confused, deceived when we talk about Pisces energy. Just make sure you're not, I wouldn't commit to too many things with Venus and Pisces. I would just let yourself be lost in the love of it all. Be in the flow and wait until Venus in Aries or even Venus in Taurus is a great time to really set some concrete values and rules around relationships, money, beauty, all that stuff. This is just a time to feel all the feels with Venus in Pisces. We have a full moon in Leo on February 5th. Big full moon, literally go big or go home. Bold energy. It's probably the most dramatic full moon of the year, igniting our passions, allowing our inner child out to play. We're more bold, we're more brazen. It's just like finding joy, finding passion, being creative. Yeah, just permission to let your hair down. Let that lion's mane flow under the upcoming full moon. Now, Leo is very associated with the self and with the ego, right? Ruled by the sun. So something to keep in mind as you are celebrating, giving gratitude under this full moon, not being too absorbed in yourself, but really giving thanks and sharing that good energy, sharing those thanks with other people as well. Remember, it is Aquarius season. We're meant to be in community. It's not all about us. So give thanks for how brightly you can shine and how much you can spread your light, how abundant your light is that you can share it with others. And the final transit that we will talk about for Aquarius season is Mercury is going to move into Aquarius on February 11th. So further opening us up to new perspectives, innovation, new ideas, thinking outside the box, learning new information, learning about new technology. New technology could be released as well. You might, it feels very like visionary energy, like Steve Jobs just popped into my mind. Like people didn't fully understand what he was trying to create, but he did have this vision for Apple and it being very aesthetically pleasing and user-friendly that not everybody understood at first. So just know it's, we're not having a Mercury retrograde or anything, but you might find yourself kind of stuck in your own head and being detached and being a little spacey as you're visioning things. that's okay. It's okay if you're not fully understood just yet, but forward thinking innovation comes very naturally. You might be involved in some group chats. If you're in transit tracking, you'll be in a group chat. Message boards feel very appealing. Communicating with an entire community and being involved, sharing your ideas with the collective feels really good. So I'll post this to my Instagram in the next couple days. So you can save it, find it there if you're wanting to check in with the upcoming transits. Okay, that is everything on my list of transits, things to talk about in this very jam-packed weekend we have ahead. But I love this. I love that Nick just said this. We are always in the now, the constant now. Time is invented by people for the sunlight of the workday. Exactly. All we have is the now. And I'm so grateful you're all here with me right now. Yes, and time does have its place, excuse me. You know, it reminds me that Saturn, the ruler of time, being the traditional ruler of Aquarius, time helps us connect with people. Being like, hey, we're going to meet at this time in this place. Time is a vital component of connecting with other humans, but being so stuck in time, we don't want time to rule us. We want to use it as a tool to our benefit, right? Yes, exactly, Katie. So we can meet and support each other tomorrow. I'm a Libra rising, and I read that today would be a potent day for me. Maybe because I'm not really sure why that would be the case, but today can be anything you want it to be. You know, today can be a potent day as much as you want it to be. I'm trying to think about Venus would be your ruling planet. Venus isn't doing anything crazy other than that conjunction to Saturn. Definitely an opportunity to review some lessons or find inner authority. That could be powerful for you right now. But hey, if you receive that message, trust it. It's going to be a powerful day. I love it. Yeah, this is going to be a great season for your daughter. I think that stellium and Pisces season is coming for her. She's going to start feeling a little more in her element. I have a feeling. February 5th, your birthday weekend, full moon for Marissa's birthday. Love that. Okay, let's come back to our affirmation of the day. Easy. I'm excited about the future. All we've been talking about for the past hour and 15 minutes has been the future. Why not be excited about it, right? I am excited about the future. And of course, you can find your own affirmations based on the new moon, based on Aquarius season as that goes live late tonight on thespiritualjournalist.com if you want something more tailored to you. I want to finish up with a card pull from the Starseed Oracle, helping us pull any other messages or insights for Aquarius season, for this new moon, for our future, for the cycle ahead. So as we wrap up our time here together, we've been talking so much about time. This is your opportunity to share any final insights. If you won't be able to join us for transit tracking this time around and you'd like to share your intentions, we'll be doing that in the group tomorrow during the new moon. Ooh, it's going to be so magical. But if you're not going to make it tomorrow, feel free to share your intentions with the group now, speak it out into the universe, or even just ponder as we shuffle. I want to remind you, you still have time if you want to join this group of us. We're going to be meeting once a week. Transit tracking, you can join us at thespiritualjournalist.com/shop. This is how you sign up. This is what it will look like. And the first email is going out this afternoon to you all with some journal templates. So if you want to be part of it, I won't be sending out our Zoom links until Saturday morning. There's still time for you to sign up, and we would love to have you be part of this community, this group we're creating. All right, Starseed, so Aquarius, I had to do it. I had to do it. We talked about so much, Corby. Like, my voice is like, okay, it's time. It's time to stop talking now. I also have to ask, does the video quality look any different to you all? My remote producers out there, does it look crisper to you? Do you notice anything? I upgraded the quality today. Speaking of technology and Aquarius season and upgrades, I upgraded my subscriptions so I can stream in HD. And I'm like, do I look more HD to you? Let me know. Oh, so grateful to have you in this community, Bree. Okay, as you assess. It does look crisper. Okay. Hopefully that doesn't mean you can see as many. I kind of liked it being in standard definition. It's, it's kind of like a TV thing. When TV stations moved to HD, a lot of TV anchors were like, oh gosh, you can see everything now. So, you can see the definition in my contour. Okay. All right. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I'll take it. It's crisper. There we go. Perfect upgrade for Aquarius season. Okay, let's receive our final message. Here we go. If you're joining me live, or if you've made it this far in the video and you're watching later, let's take a moment under today's dark moon in Capricorn, or if you're finding this during the new moon under this new chapter, to just take a deep breath, tapping into the element of air during Aquarius season to see what insights want to come through for us. Here we go. All together now, the deepest breath you've taken all day. Breathe in and release. What do we need to know for the Aquarius new moon? I've never gotten this card before. The blue flame. Love it. Spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. I'm so excited about this card. The blue flame. Okay. What message do you have for us, blue flame? Where are we? Let me see. Here it is. Spontaneous awakening, activation, integration time. This is a card of awakening and energetic upgrades. Yes. Perhaps you're going through a period of spontaneous awakening, receiving visions and having experiences that are out of the ordinary. In the West, little is known about the process of spontaneous awakening, and it can feel very scary when we're going through it alone. Elsewhere, they can be seen as auspicious experiences, with those going through them being treated with tender care. The blue beings are thought to be activating beings with great potential for healing and upgrading our cellular structures. They appear in moments of extreme awakening, activating a physical Kundalini awakening and deep cellular and DNA healing. Many people glamorize the awakening process. However, in reality, it's much messier and more difficult than most of us believe. Amen to that. We must first let go of what we think we know for sure and how we make sense of the world. We must first let go of what we think we know for sure and how we make sense of the world. This is not easy. The awakening process, even when it is spontaneous, takes a considerable amount of time to integrate. And awakening without integration can leave us feeling very ungrounded. If you are in the midst of an awakening, the process never ends. Treat this time as deeply sacred and give yourself ample space to ground and integrate the extreme changes you're going through. And then here's the activation. Here we go. You can say it with me if you want. I allow myself to surrender to the awakening process that's right for me. I take things slowly and integrate my experience each and every day. Perfect for Aquarius season. I love this card. I love you all. I'm so freaking excited to connect with you. So many of you on an even deeper level starting tomorrow. That's okay, Nick. Next time. All good. I'm also going to be releasing it later as just a self-paced course without the Zoom component. So maybe that feels like a better fit for you. All good. Never pressure, only if it feels in alignment. So divine for this new moon. Yeah, a new moon is a great time for a spontaneous awakening too, right? Raise the vibrations of new earth. So excited for all of the awakenings. Yeah, all in divine timing. Absolutely. I love you all. I'm so excited for Aquarius season. I'm so excited for transit tracking. Yeah, perfect with all that talk about time too. Integration. It's not all going to happen at once. The ideas can pour through under this new moon. All the insights, Uranus stationing direct. Oh my goodness, I have this vision. Let it all unfold in divine timing. Let it all integrate. Happy Lunar New Year. I hope you all get rich. Absolutely. Well, I will see many of you tomorrow, but wherever you are, however you found this video, I am so grateful you showed up for yourself today. I'm so grateful you showed up for this community. If you're new here, welcome. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel so you can continue to be a part of this community. And if you are returning, I just freaking love you. And I'm so excited for this new cycle ahead. I love you all. I hope you have a beautiful beginning to your Aquarius season, a beautiful new moon. And until I see you next, stay curious. Thank you so much for joining us and aligning with the energy of the universe today. If you enjoyed this morning's episode of Transits Today, you can join our live astrology discussion every weekday morning right here wherever you're watching. And head to thespiritualjournalist.com to read your daily astrology forecast and browse the Spiritual Shop. The most fun way to help keep these forecasts free and support more content like this is to buy yourself a little something on our website. But if you're feeling extra generous, you can also buy me a coffee to fuel future live streams. Just tap the link in the description or head to buymeacoffee.com and search The Spiritual Journalist. And speaking of, you can also tune in to The Spiritual Journalist, our weekly live interview where we ask our guests questions about everything from crystals and manifestation to mental health and the environment. Those conversations stream live right here wherever you're watching now every Tuesday. I'm so grateful you found us here, and I can't wait for our next conversation.